France will be crowned world champions. I'll give you 5 reasons.
Now, as mentioned, when you speak about France, you are speaking about the closest thing you could get to World Cup royalty at this moment.
France were 90 seconds from winning back-to-back World Cups in 2022.
Mbappe, back towards Mbappe! It's unbelievable.
90 seconds, and they're coming to 2026 with a squad that makes that team look like a rough draft.
Barcola, Doue, Mbappe, Dembele, Olise, Rayan Cherki. We've got the best attacking front three in the world. You put our second team, we're better than anybody else.
In this video, there are 5 specific reasons France lift that trophy in North America. Mbappe is coming with something to prove, a supporting cast that has no business being this good, squad depth no other nation can touch, rivals who keep finding new ways to fall short, and a wound from Qatar that hasn't healed. Stick around, because by the end of this, you won't be picking anyone else. At 19, Kylian Mbappé became only the second teenager in history to score in a World Cup final.
Here's Mbappe!
The first since Pelé in 1958. He won the whole thing that year, basically as a kid, running Argentina's defense into the ground with a 70-meter sprint that earned France a penalty, and then went and scored twice after that. 4 years later in Qatar, with France 2-0 down to Argentina in the final and the game looking completely dead, he took it personally. A penalty, then a volley 97 seconds later to make it 2-2. Then Argentina hit back in extra time to go 3-2 up. And Mbappe stepped up again, this time a penalty to make it 3-3. A hat-trick in a World Cup final.
23 years old to score 3 penalties against probably one of the best goalkeepers I've seen at penalties. Okay? And then the goal he scores at 23 on the volley when your team is losing against the best goalie in the tournament. The performance that Mbappe did today when nobody else on his team showed up deserves a lot of respect.
3 goals when his country needed him most, including 1 just to stay in the game. France still lost on penalties, but what Mbappe did that night doesn't happen in football. It just doesn't.
Listen, Mbappe's performance today, because France was terrible, Mbappe's performance today against anyone else, if it wasn't the little goat Messi, he wins the World Cup.
Now he's 27, not a prospect, not a player with potential, a fully built weapon, with 12 World Cup goals before his 28th birthday, a number Cristiano Ronaldo never reached across his entire international career. Ronaldo finished with 8. Mbappe already has 41 goals this season, with 4 goal nights against top European opposition, and a winner in El Clasico. He's more composed now, more complete, and you can feel something different in how he carries himself going into this tournament. He's not chasing games anymore, he's chasing the all-time World Cup scoring record. And after a season of constant media scrutiny, every performance picked apart, every result at Real Madrid turned into a question about whether he made the right call, he arrives at this World Cup with something very specific to prove.
I'm worried. If Mbappe is back to his best, which I really worry because he's had a tough year at Real Madrid, I just think he's trying to make a statement to show his club, I can be the man, I can be the face, and lead a team to success.
That version of Mbappe, the one with a point to make, is a completely different problem for any defense to deal with. Here's where it stops being about one player and starts being genuinely unfair to the rest of the world. Michael Olise has produced 48 goal involvements this season. No winger in Europe's top 5 leagues has more. His 26 assists in all competitions put him above every other player in those same leagues. He cuts in from the right at Bayern the way Arjen Robben used to, but with more creativity and end product. And he does it consistently enough that it stopped feeling like a surprise months ago.
And with Olise, he can run at you on the outside, he can run at you on the inside. And he's so deceptive, he's so manipulative. He literally reads your actions, he reads your feet, and the minute you only slightly commit, left or right, he's gone. He's so quick, man. So quick, so skillful.
Then there's Ousmane Dembélé. Ballon d'Or winner in 2025 and already the favourite to win it again this year.
Ousmane Dembélé wins his deserved Ballon d'Or. Deserved. Yes, you heard me correctly. Deserved.
What Luis Enrique has done with him at PSG is genuinely difficult to explain unless you've watched it week by week.
It's the Ousmane Dembélé show, and it quite simply has been ever since Enrique made the decision to change his role from a winger into a false nine. And that role, ultimately, that change in position, has ultimately been the catalyst for everything PSG have done this season.
The year he won the Ballon d'Or, he put up 47 goal contributions in 46 appearances across all competitions. Ligue 1 Player of the Season, the man who carried PSG to their first Champions League. Then, this season, with the pressure of defending it all, he came back with 19 goals and 13 assists and helped PSG win the Champions League again. Back-to-back, most important player both times. The transformation from inconsistent wide man to the most complete attacking weapon in European football didn't happen overnight, but at some point in the last 2 years, the conversation quietly shifted, and now he arrives at a World Cup as the reigning Ballon d'Or holder, with a shot at winning a second one. Rayan Cherki at Manchester City, Pep Guardiola called him the most naturally gifted player he's ever coached.
Rayan is one of the huge talents I ever seen in my career. Technically and individually, it's top.
That is a sentence Guardiola said out loud about a player who finished this season with 10 goals and 13 assists. When he gets the ball in tight spaces, he sees passing lanes nobody else even registers, and when he decides to shoot, it's clean. Désiré Doué is 21 years old, and he's already scored in a Champions League final and a Club World Cup. He keeps showing up in the biggest moments. 2 goals against Monaco in the decisive phase of this Champions League campaign, and a crucial assist to help his team to the next stage of the competition.
But well done, Désiré Doué. He showed, especially the first goal. I mean, there was, as Ali said, a very tight angle. It was very precise.
Then showed up again against Chelsea. He doesn't hide from pressure, he finds it. He is currently the most promising young talent in world football.
I think it's clear, right? When you watch him play, like, the guy's got some talent, man.
It's good. Yeah, excellent player.
Bradley Barcola finished the 2025-26 season with 14 goals and 7 assists for PSG. And if you're sleeping on him going into this World Cup, you're making a mistake. He operates from the left wing and cuts inside onto his right foot with a change of pace that makes defenders look completely flat-footed. His acceleration is just different. The moment he gets a yard of space, he's gone. And there's almost nothing a fullback can do about it. Electric, direct, and genuinely exciting to watch. Those 9 attacking players selected combined for 279 goal contributions this season. That number is not normal. No other national squad can point at their attacking options and produce anything close to it. France could put out 2 completely separate starting 11s and both would reach the quarterfinals. That's not a boast, it's what the numbers actually support. And it matters more in a 48-team format, where the road to the final is longer and injuries are inevitable. The defensive spine starts with William Saliba and Dayot Upamecano, arguably the strongest centre-back partnership at the entire tournament. Saliba has put himself firmly in the conversation for the best centre-back in world football this season.
I think William Saliba's the best centre-back in the world. I don't think anybody is better than that guy right now. I think Van Dijk's had that crown for a number of years. I think he's got to pass the torch. This guy is just incredible, and he's 24 years of age.
Mike Maignan behind them is a goalkeeper who wins matches, not just saves shots.
Mike Maignan is a very good goalkeeper. I do think he's up there in the top 5-10 goalkeepers in the world, 100%.
N'Golo Kante is still everywhere, still arriving at loose balls before anyone else reacts. He gives the attackers the license to take risks because he covers the ground they leave behind. The midfield options behind him, Tchouaméni, Rabiot, Zaire Emery, Manu Kone, cover completely different positions. So, Deschamps can change the entire character of the team at half-time without losing quality. Depth doesn't just help in a 48-team World Cup, it decides who wins it. Every other serious contender at this tournament carries something France doesn't, a pattern of falling short at the exact moment it matters most. Spain is coming in as reigning European champions and co-favorites, and on paper the case for them is real. A possession model that suffocates teams, a midfield that controls tempo better than almost anyone, and a front line that dismantled most of Europe over the past 2 years. But their attacking identity runs through two players: Lamine Yamal on the right, Nico Williams on the left. Pace, directness, 1v1 dominance. That's the engine. And both of them are walking into this tournament not fully fit. Yamal tore his left hamstring in late April.
And now he rips his hammy and he could potentially miss the rest of Barcelona's season and potentially miss the World Cup at such a young age, bro. It kills me, man.
Williams has been dealing with his own recurring hamstring problems. Neither is fully fit. In a normal club game, you manage that carefully. In a World Cup knockout match against a France side with the pace and physicality to punish any hesitation on the ball, you can't hide it. A possession system built for control becomes a problem when its most dangerous outlets are running at 70%. Argentina are defending champions, and Messi is still Messi. But the squad around him is older now, and the window that opened in Qatar is closing fast. Defending a World Cup title is one of the hardest things in football. Brazil, France, Italy, Germany have all tried and failed in their immediate defense. Argentina have less room for error than they did 4 years ago, not more. England carry enormous belief into 2026, and the talent is real. But 60 years without a World Cup title is not a run of bad luck, it's a pattern. Tournament football finds the cracks, and England have shown theirs consistently when knockout pressure arrives. Portugal arguably have their strongest modern squad outside of the Ronaldo-era peak.
They've got the best left-back in the world. They've got some of the best midfielders in the world in Neves, in Bruno Fernandes. They've got a deep squad. They've got players who's a bit of a maverick like Rafael Leao can come on and do a madness if he wants. And they've got someone who can always put the ball in the back of the net, and that's Cristiano. So they've got key components. It's just whether it all comes together.
But tournament collapses under pressure have followed them from knockout round to knockout round for over a decade. Individual brilliance without collective composure only goes so far in a one-game elimination format. France have reached the World Cup final in 2 of their last 3 tournaments. No other nation on that list can say anything close to that. Spain's and Portugal's midfield is the one area where opponents find real traction against France's press. That's a genuine threat. But when your attacking unit produces 279 goal contributions across a season, you don't need to be perfect defensively to win a football match. Forget the stats for a moment. In the 2022 World Cup final, France were 2-0 down to Argentina with 15 minutes left. The trophy was gone. The commentators had moved on. And then Mbappe scored. And 97 seconds later, scored again. And France were level.
France can't believe it! In the space of 2 minutes, it's 2-2. That is absolutely world class.
Argentina hit back in extra time to go 3-2 up.
Lionel Messi has followed in what I think was Lautaro Martinez's shot. And it's a goal for Argentina. They've been the better team just before half-time, and now they've been the better team afterwards.
And Mbappe scored again, a penalty, to drag it to 3-3. 3 goals, 1 man.
Oh, he scores 3-3. He's back. He's got a hat-trick in a World Cup final.
France still lost on penalties, but they came within a missed spot kick of lifting that trophy, despite producing what most football people consider one of the greatest individual performances in a losing cause the sport has ever seen.
To score 3 penalties, to single-handedly carry a team through a final when they shouldn't have been in the game. The game should have been over.
That wound doesn't fade, it compounds. France's greatest teams have always run on something underneath the talent. The 1998 squad arrived after years of failure, missed tournaments, and public embarrassment. They used it. The 2018 team came off the back of a devastating Euro 2016 final defeat on home soil, where they led Portugal and lost in extra time. They used that too. Both squads converted that specific kind of hurt into a World Cup. The pattern is not accidental. Didier Deschamps has now been in charge long enough to build something harder to measure than tactics or squad depth, a culture of expectation. Players don't arrive in the French camp hoping to compete anymore. They arrive knowing what's required, because the manager who won the World Cup as a player and then again as a coach has spent years making that the baseline. And when knockout football arrives, France know how to survive the ugly moments. They've been in those situations repeatedly, gone a goal down in finals, gone to extra time, been pressed into corners, and kept finding a way through. Other nations panic. France finds solutions. The combination of Mbappe chasing history, a supporting cast that would be the best attack at any other World Cup, defensive stability most nations can only plan around, rivals who keep producing the same patterns of failure, and that very specific motivation from Qatar, all of it arrives at the same time in 2026. 5 reasons. Mbappe at the height of his powers with something to prove. A supporting cast producing 279 goal contributions in a single season. Squad depth that runs 2 11s deep. Rivals who have shown repeatedly exactly where their limits are. And a group of players who know precisely what it feels like to be that close and come away with nothing. The third star isn't a dream for France, it's the only result they'll accept.